Welcome to our beautiful autumn harvest Thanksgiving. I really went for beautiful autumn colors to make this table really pop. Join me as we make all these wonderful dishes. We're going to start with garlic herb roasted rainbow carrots. The ingredients are these technicolored carrots, as my husband called them. We've got olive oil, garlic, rosemary, thyme, parsley. I used honey, but you can use maple syrup if you want, and then salt and pepper and lemon zest. Let's get this started by preheating your oven to 425, and then you want to line a baking sheet with parchment paper or spray it or use a silicone mat or whatever you like to use. Just something so your carrots don't stick to the tray. And then we are going to prep these carrots. Super funny though, the purple carrots are like orange on the inside. I had no idea. I've never bought these colored carrots before. They were actually a little hard to find, but I really wanted the pretty autumn colors. But they're orange on the inside, and I thought that was interesting. The other colors are not orange on the inside. You want to prep these, cut them up so that they're evenly sized, however you like them. If you want them in little chunks, that's fine. I did mine kind of in like sticks, and that's how we liked them. I will link the recipe in the description box, but I want to point out, because I did not pay attention, the recipe says it's for about a pound of carrots. My bag of technicolored carrots was 2 pounds. I made this glaze that goes over it, and then I had to make another little batch to go on it because I had double the carrots and I didn't realize. So just pay attention to your carrots, I guess, or read your recipe better than I did. We are adding to this bowl olive oil, garlic, rosemary, thyme, honey, and then the lemon zest and salt and pepper, and mix that up. Another thing I think I did was, here, I threw the parsley in with this too. I don't think it's a big deal, but the parsley is supposed to go on at the end, probably just for that bright green pop. If you measure your oil and then you do your honey in the same spoon as the oil, the honey slides right out because you had the oil in it first. If you guys didn't know that, it's a great little tip. If you did know that, hey, good job. Toss your carrots in this mixture and get them all mixed up in there. I did wash my carrots. If you washed them, I'd let them drip off for a few minutes just so you're not throwing a bunch of water into there. But get them all evenly coated. Throw them in a single layer on a pan. Pop these in the oven 20 to 25 minutes. Mix them halfway through and make sure that they are fork tender before you take them out and plate them. Beautiful. Up next, we have Thanksgiving fruit salad. This, again, is all those beautiful autumn colors. So we have green apples, red apples, dried cranberries, pecans, grapes, oranges. It does specify navel oranges. I don't know if that matters, but that's what I got. And lemon. And just so everybody knows, because my kids didn't, navel oranges have the belly button on them. That's why they're navel oranges. They thought that was funny. So you want to preheat your oven to 350. And while the oven preheats, put your pecans on a pan and throw them in the oven so that they come up to temperature with the oven. I think that this is a great dish to combine with other cooking. Otherwise, you're just heating up your oven and then shutting it off, because that's the only thing in this dish that gets cooked. The recipe specifies that when you can smell the pecans, it's time to take them out. If you don't have a very keen sense of smell, basically when your oven is all the way preheated, your pecans will come out and they're done. It just kind of gives it like a toasty kind of taste to it. Next in the recipe is to make the sauce, but I was prepping this the day before, so I waited with that. I prepped all my fruit and I just cut the apples to a decent size. You want to zest the lemon and then cut the peels off the orange and basically mix everything together. I did leave the skins on the apples because that adds to that beautiful coloring that I was shooting for this meal. And you get that all mixed up in a bowl and put some lemon in there so everything isn't brown. If you're making this and using it the same day, you probably would want to do the sauce as the second step and then cut your fruit very last. On to the sauce for this. You're going to use orange juice, white sugar, apple pie spice, the zest from 1 lemon, and the zest from 1 orange. I did forget to zest my oranges before I cut those peels off, but I do keep dried orange powder around. Otherwise, don't forget to zest your oranges. Whisk all that together in a saucepan. We're going to throw that on the stove on medium heat, bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer for 3 to 4 minutes. You're looking for like a thicker consistency, kind of like a syrup, because that sugar will make it thick. Carefully take this, it's really hot, and run it through a fine mesh strainer into a little bowl. And then this has to cool completely. So this would be a great time if you haven't done it yet to prep all your fruit or move on to something else or go catch up on a show or something while that stuff cools off. Once it's cool, you mix everything in a bowl together, throw in your cranberries, throw in your pecans, toss this syrup on there, mix it all together, and then it's done. I will say I think that the pecans should be left separate, especially if you have more than you think people are going to eat, because they did get a little soggy sitting in there, and if they were just sprinkled on top, I think that would be a lot better. Up next we have roasted butternut squash and Brussels sprout salad. So this is like a warm veggie mix. I guess they call it a salad. I don't think I was supposed to serve it cold. That sounds like it would have been gross, but it's called a salad, so we'll go with it. So we are going to use butternut squash, Brussels sprouts, avocado oil. It probably doesn't matter if you use olive oil, salt, pepper, pecans, dried cranberries, and bacon. Set your oven to 400, and if you just were making the fruit salad, your oven is close to temp already. You want to cube your butternut squash or buy it pre-done like I did, and then half or quarter your Brussels sprouts, so it's roughly the same size as the butternut squash. Then you want to drizzle on your oil and dust with salt and pepper and mix it all together, even layer on the pan, and then it goes in the oven for 15 minutes. While those veggies are in the oven, we're going to make a maple Dijon dressing to go over it. So we're using extra virgin olive oil, maple syrup, apple cider vinegar, Dijon mustard, and salt and pepper. This all gets mixed together. I did it in a bowl. I think it would be easier to combine everything into a jar and then just shake it up. And then if it separates before you're ready to use it, you can just shake it up again. And this dressing was surprising to me because I don't really cook with Dijon mustard a lot. But this turned out like a honey mustard. Like, it was quite good, but a lot sweeter than I was anticipating. And I don't know if that was from the mustard or from the maple syrup or what, but it definitely was good. It just wasn't what I was expecting. Once your veggies have been in the oven for about 15 minutes, you're going to add the pecan halves to this. Make sure everything's still in a single layer, and then put it back in the oven for about 10 minutes so that the pecans have a little bit of time to toast and the veggies can finish cooking. So while you've got that in the oven, there's a lot of steps to this. You want to cook up 4 to 5 pieces of bacon, or however much you want. I think I did, maybe 8 pieces of bacon. I threw them in my air fryer. You can pan fry them. You can do them however you want, but you need some cooked bacon to go with this dish. All right, so at this point, your pecans are toasted. Your veggies are done. You want to mix the veggies in a bowl with the dried cranberries. Mix your dressing in with it as much as you want. If you wanted a little more dressing, throw it in there. If you want less, do that. Just make sure you're tasting it. Put the bacon on top and serve it warm, and you are good to go. All right, last up we have cranberry orange glazed turkey breast. So what we are using is turkey breast. The recipe does say bone in, skin on. I did not do that because what I had was a naked turkey breast, no bone, no skin. 4 cups of fresh cranberries, orange juice, honey, Dijon mustard, brown sugar, orange zest, cloves, olive oil, rosemary, thyme, cinnamon, salt and pepper. I did mine in the crock pot. I usually make a turkey in the crock pot every year for Thanksgiving. I thought this would work out great, which it did. And my oven was pretty loaded up with the other stuff I was making. So if you want to make this in the oven, that's totally fine, and the recipe accounts for that. But I did mine in the crock pot. So what you're going to do first is mix the olive oil, rosemary, thyme, salt, and pepper and make a paste out of it. And then that's going to get rubbed onto the turkey. If you have skin on your turkey, you would put it under the skin, like probably over and under, but you'd make sure you get it underneath the skin so it can kind of baste in those flavors. Once you have that done, we're going to make a glaze. It's going to be the cranberries, orange juice, honey, Dijon mustard, brown sugar, garlic, orange zest, and cinnamon. Put that in a saucepan and simmer it for 15 minutes. Want this to thicken up quite a bit. The recipe says to let it thicken until it's jammy. I don't think it quite became jammy, but it was quite a bit thicker than when I started. So take half of this cranberry glaze and put it over your turkey. And then if you're roasting it in the oven, you're going to throw it in for an hour and a half uncovered to an hour and 45 minutes. And it says baste it every 30 minutes with the pan juices. I threw mine in the crock pot on high for about 4 hours, and then the steam from the crock pot kind of kept it basting itself. Make sure you check the temperature before you declare it's dinner time. You want poultry to be around 160, 165, something like that. This turned out really good. It was so tender making it in the crock pot like that, and it was super fun to cut up into these slices. I don't really know why. I just really enjoyed that. The other half of the cranberry sauce you can drizzle over the top and make it your showpiece for your beautiful autumnal table that you made if you followed along with these recipes. And that bright red pop is just really eye-catching. I'm really happy with how these recipes turned out. This was a really fun video to make. I think everything turned out really beautiful. These would work great for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever holidays you celebrate. It definitely has that warm comfort food feel to it. And let me know if you try any of these. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to check out another video, I can pop one of them up. Don't forget to subscribe for more food stuff and all the other junk we do around here. And I will catch you next time. Bye.